Anyway, I entered primary school. I found that there were always people whispering about me and pointing at me behind my back later. One time my father took me out for a morning roo. It was a 400-meter lap with every step I ra. There were people whispering behind me. How can someone run like this? Look at how he swings his arms. Of course, I hated being watched like this. So I stuffed all my textbooks, the ones I was using, and even the ones I had used before, into my school bag in this way. When walking fast, I could attribute the abnormal movements to the weight on me. When putting it down, I could say the opposite, that I was used to carrying things on my back and felt uncomfortable without them. My disguise. On the road, I carried a whole school bag of books. At school, I read a whole school bag of books. When I got home, I still liked to hold a book in my hand and read it. My father bought me a set of 100,000 Whys when I was very young, and my mother taught me how to look up words in the dictionary early. I didn't seem to let them down in their expectations for me. Whether they were big or small, I held the book. Even when I went to the toilet, of course. I wasn't tearing the paper off the book to wipe my ass. Instead, I kept squatting until my legs went numb when I stood up. My legs were oxygen deprived and weak, and I needed to walk unsteadily for a few laps before I could regain normal sensatio, so I learned a mathematical concept early. Prime numbers. A prime number is such a number that it cannot be divided evenly by other numbers, except one and itself, theoretically. There are infinitely many prime numbers, and there is no largest prime number, but the larger the prime number, the greater the distance between two prime numbers. In other words, the rarer and harder to find they are. So I was curious whether the homophonic number 607 of my name was a prime number. I often took out the small calculator at home and calculated on it over and over again, looking for other divisors of 607. I never found any. When I got tired, I recorded my calculation progress on paper. I calculated until 606 and finally determined that 607 is probably indeed a prime number. Later, with more knowledge, I learned that what I did back then was actually very stupid, as long as I calculated until a number slightly larger than the square root of 607, that is 25, there would be no need to continue calculating. I could determine that 607 is a prime number. A prime number is a lonely number. It only has one and itself. I have a jingle bell and myself.